a thing. Sister Anaki, am I audible?
Yes, Mfundisi.
Okay, thank you. Sister Anaki Tekelk, I see you have unmuted. I can't hear a thing. We can't hear you. Okay, I think Sister Anaki has some challenges. I'm going to ask Brother Ndumiso Kunene to open for us with a word of prayer. Brother Ndumiso Kunene, can you hear me? Amen. I struggled to hear Brother Ndumiso. Were you able to hear him?
No, Pastor,
Oh,
we couldn't hear.
We couldn't hear. Okay. I was starting to think the challenge is on my side.
No.
Okay. I also can't hear Christian. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Brother Ndumiso prayed for us. We did not hear him, but we could hear that he was praying. I'm going to take it by faith. I know him as a devout Christian. I trust that he prayed a good prayer for all of us. Yes, Brother Ndumiso, the Lord heard your prayer. Thank you. Thank you very much. A special welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We started yesterday. Our theme for this virtual training is welfare ministry in the SDA church. Yesterday, we had our conference president, Pastor Andrew Munsami, who shared with us about the biblical and spirit of prophecy basis for community service. After that, we had Pastor Antwabe, who shared with us an intro into Adventist community services. Those who missed out on yesterday's presentations, the link to the video was shared to the church clerks. Please contact your church clerk and ask them to share with you the link to the YouTube page where you will find the recording of yesterday's presentation. Today, we have a special guest. We have Sister Penny Mazibugo, who is the director, finance director of Meals on Wheels, KNFC. She's joining us today. She's going to tell us about Meals on Wheels, about the work that they do, and then after her presentation, we are going to have an opportunity to ask some clarity-seeking questions so that after this training today, we will all have a better understanding of Meals on Wheels as to what Meals on Wheels is, what Meals on Wheels does, and how we can partner with Meals on Wheels as ACS and Dockers. Our meetings are being recorded. Our virtual training is being recorded. It's only being recorded for purposes of uploading it on our conference YouTube page so that those who have missed the meeting can be able to view it, and those who want to recap can also be able to view it. Thank you, Sister Penny, for accepting the invitation to join us today. And over to you at this. I'm sending it over to you at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mfundisi, and good evening to everyone. As Pastor said, my name is Penny Mazibuko. I'm the Finance Director for Meals on Wheels. I'm going to give you just a brief presentation about Meals on Wheels. As my starting point, I'm reading Proverbs chapter 22, verse 9, that reads as follows: whoever has a bountiful eye will be blessed, for he shares his bread with the poor. As everyone knows that Meals on Wheels is a movement, and it's not only about food, but it's about care, dignity, and the community that we are serving on a daily basis. The founder of Meals on Wheels is Dr. Dennis Beard. Meals on Wheels was founded in 1964 at East London by Dr. Dennis Beard. And when he formed it, his primary aim was to deliver meals to the elderly of the community. So this is the first vehicle that was transporting meals at East London for the elderly. This is in Duncanville at East London, and this is where Meals on Wheels started. So what started with just a few meals delivered in East London has evolved into a national network of service points, reaching hundreds of thousands across the country, serving not only just elderly, but also the disabled, the vulnerable population as well. So our mission and our vision, our mission as Meals on Wheels is to transform lives through charity in motion. So this reflects the heart of Meals on Wheels' purpose to actively deliver hope, health, and dignity by providing nutritious meals and caring support to those in need. And our vision is a hunger-free South Africa, represents the ultimate vision of Meals on Wheels, ensuring that no South African is left to suffer from hunger or neglect. So some of the services that we do as Meals on Wheels, we deliver meals on a daily basis. So our kitchen operates on different days. There are those that are serving 5 times a week, some 4, some 3. This is with whatever means that they receive and the numbers that they serve. So we also have some kitchens are not only serving in one service point, they've got more than one service point. And also we also do disaster relief. We partner with the Department of Disaster. Mostly there's disasters that we've been taking care of here in KZN. And then we do also community needs assessments. We also have branches that are involved in agriculture initiatives, where they are planting vegetables for their kitchens, and at the same time also they're selling vegetables. Then we have different kitchens that also serving. And then we also have frail care facilities as Meals on Wheels and retirement villages. And we also have caregivers that are doing a caregiving work on door-to-door to help those who are in need of care, mostly the elderly. And then we have some skills development projects that we do as Meals on Wheels. And at a point of our national office in Bloemfontein, there's also a correctional service where they are doing some work that is sold. That's part of the skills development. And then we do luncheon clubs that are also mostly for the elderly. On those luncheon clubs, we find that they group the elderly together and help them to do some handwork and some games. And also they organize the clinics to come and mobile clinics to come and check them and give them also whatever needs, tablets that they need. We also do Christmas lunches, and we also do corporate events. So we partner with so many the corporates where they come and do some cooking with us and distribution, food distribution with us. Our strategic objectives as Meals on Wheels is management control, food security, poverty alleviation, self-sustainability, and fundraising. So under management control, we establish a strong foundation to enable lasting, sustainable changes to the regions and communities we serve. And food security ensure sustainable access of balanced meals to the poorest of the poor communities in South Africa. Then poverty alleviation, we aim to break the cycle of poverty in communities served through lasting social and economic interventions. Self-sustainability achieved through strengthening communities through local actions, self-empowerment, and community participations to ensure community-owned development and reliance. And also, we encourage fundraising. This is achieved through fostering and strengthening strategic partnership with different companies that create mutual independency and heightened accountability for achieved results. So we had so many partnerships with different companies on a yearly basis. So funds and resources of Meals on Wheels. So Meals on Wheels primarily relies on funding from individuals and corporate donors. This current income source is crucial and will need to be closely examined and strategically managed through effective governance and practices. So as in Meals on Wheels, our funding is basically coming from the individual donors and corporate donors. So SDA, our area office, receives an appropriation from the KNFC office, which is allocated towards our accommodation. So we are occupying 5 offices at the conference office. So our appropriation is it's basically for that. And then Meals on Wheels, it's got a national office that is based in Bloemfontein, and we have a warehouse in Bloemfontein. We have another warehouse in Johannesburg. We have caregivers, and we do also makeover. There's makeover projects that are done at the national office. And the national office, there's 6 area offices that are under the national office. There is our area office that is serving KwaZulu-Natal and the Free State. And we have another office that is in the Eastern Cape. And we're on other office in the TOC, and there's one in the Northern Conference, Western Cape, and Northern Cape. So even our funding from the national office is distributed among the 6 offices. And then all the area offices have got affiliated branches. So from the national office side, from the 6 area offices, we serve 37 million meals annually. And then we have 700 service points, 184 branches, and 1,400 volunteers. So this is our area office, KwaZulu-Natal Free State area office. Our area director is Pastor Uxolani Umthembu and myself. We have our secretary, Jennifer Vienstra. That's our senior secretary. And we have our accountant, Mrs. Mavis Mgabi. And the second accountant is Jolene Pillay. And the third one is Welile Umjali. And our accounts like Umkanyiso Umgabi. And then our area office has got 34 branches that we are accounting for. We have the 4 at the North Coast, that is in Wangwanase, that is operating in the church premises. Then Umzinyani Crèche also, and then we have Shalom, we have Somkele, the 4 on the North Coast side, and in Zululand we have Inkubeko, that is in Kandla at Inkosi Ubiela's territory, and then we have Uvezubukanya, that is at Unongoma, and then Vukzenzele, that is in Ulundi. And Durban Central, we have quite a number of them. Abalindi, the old age home that is there. We have Ubambai, Chesterville, Chatsworth, and Durban Mills on Wheels, that is at Mbilo Road. And then the Harambe one, it's at Kwamashusi. Heather Court is another retirement village that is in Durban, Mbilo Road. And then we have Sizanani in Umulazi and Waterloo, the Verulium site. And then we have Wentworth at the Wentworth SDA Church. And then we have our 3 that is at the Free State, that's Bethlehem, Bloemfontein, Virginia, and then at the Midlands, we have Egupumuleni. It's operating from the church premises, and it's in Excourt. Ezakeni, also in the church premises, that is in Ladysmith. And then George Dale is in Hammersdale, also serving at the church premises. We've got Mbali, and we have Lighthouse Community Services, that is in Moy River, and then in Tabamhlopa as well as in Escort, and then Transfit is in Wartburg. They're also serving from the church premises. And then at South Coast, we have got our Frail Care Center, that is in Anali Haven, and we've got a retirement village as well, Anali Place. And then we have a service center, it's a kitchen, this one, as at Anali as well. And then we've got a creche that is in Ezingulweni, and then we have Leopard Fence that is in Umbumbulu, and then we have Mabek Haven and Umas Bombane. And then the delivery of meals, this is our stats for the year 2022, from 2022 to 2025. So you can see 2022, we served, this is our annual stats, 11,607,355 meals. 2023, that's 14,798,816. And then 2024, it was 14,652,322. And 2025, it's 20,336,013 013. So these are the stats for annually. That will be from February, March of the start of the year, starting year, and up to February of the year end. As an area office of SDA-KNFC, we operate according to the governance standards outlined by the Department of Social Development under the guidance of King 4 report on corporate governance. So we ensure that all our branches are under oversight, follow our internal finance policy. We've got our Meals on Wheels finance policy that we follow, that assist us in the transparency and the accountability and ethical leadership. So, and then what normally happens is that the funds are from our national office to the area offices, and then we also distribute it to all our branches, and they spend the money, they send in their receipts, and our accountants double check the receipts, and then they capture them on the system. We formulate financial statements, and then we send for those financial statements to auditors. And we have regular board meetings, annual general meetings are held as well for proper oversight and stakeholder engagement. And on an annual basis, after we've done our AGMs, we send our documentations to social development because all our branches are NPOs, individual NPOs, and on an annual basis, they need to submit their documentation to the social development. So we regulate the finances and movement of funds across all branches through strict internal controls. And as I said, we do annual audits, and so these are the practices that we are reinforcing our commitment and to sound financial management and responsible governance across all levels of the organization. Currently, Chairperson, if I might add, from this presentation, we as Meals on Wheels, we've been also receiving so many applications for kitchens. Currently, we have a very long waiting list, and we are unable to take any more kitchens currently because of our financial status. As in order for us to take more kitchens, we need more donations. So whatever that we have now, it's not that stable that we can take more kitchens. So that's the reason why we are not taking more kitchens, but we are accepting applications and we're putting them on the waiting list. From the humble beginnings to a vital nationwide service. Thank you very much, Chair. I'm done.
Thank you, Sis Penny. Highly appreciated. Thank you very much. At this point in time, I will open an opportunity for clarity-seeking questions or any reflections. Let me check. Anyone who's got a question for Sister Penny on Meals on Wheels, or anyone who has a reflection on the presentation we've just received? I don't see any hands. Oh, yes. Pastor Munsami. Before the president speak, I need to say that the president is the chairperson of Meals on Wheels KNFC. Go ahead, press.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Penny, for the presentation. Maybe clarity, while we do understand that financially, Meals on Wheels, we won't be able to support new kitchens. What may be the prerequisites that a church will need in order for them to have a kitchen, irrespective whether Meals on Wheels have the funding or not? But what might be the prerequisites? And can anyone or any church just open a kitchen and call it Meals on Wheels? If we can give clarity, so that will help our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. This is a very important question. In order for a kitchen to be affiliated to Meals on Wheels, you need to apply to be affiliated to Meals on Wheels, and your application will be taken to the board for approval, and the needs assessments will be done. And we normally, the kitchens that we took, most of them, we didn't start them from afresh. It was kitchens that were already operating. So before you even go to register with the DSD, you need to get an approval for affiliation first. so that you need to get your approval for affiliation first, then you can apply to the DSD, because then even your NPO certificate will reflect that you are affiliated to Meals on Wheels. So you cannot start by applying to the DSD and using use our name as Meals on Wheels before even sending your application to Meals on Wheels for the board to approve. Unfortunately, we have a case like that already where they went on did their old applications with the DSD. They are calling themselves Meals on Wheels, and they are not even affiliated to us. I was actually surprised when I was told that there's a kitchen that is operating as Meals on Wheels. Somehow they used also a copy of our constitution, and they are requesting funds under the name Meals on Wheels. Before they didn't start with application and affiliation. They didn't even get a permission from us to do that. They started with that, of which now that is a challenge, because you cannot call yourself Meals on Wheels while you don't even have permission to call yourself to use our name. So that is actually illegal. So the process, Pastor, is you apply for affiliation first, and you must get a board approval that you can be affiliated to Meals on Wheels. Then you can start with your application to the DSD officers. Thank you, Pastor. I hope I've answered.
Thank you, Penny. It is, oh, through you, Pastor Paul. Thank you. It is very important that our leaders understand processes, because we will end up with legal challenges. Pastor Paul, between you and Penny, I'm not sure who will answer this, but the two of you can give input. What would be then the difference between a local church having an ACS soup kitchen as compared to Meals on Wheels now? What would be the difference? Can the local church still have a feeding scheme outside of Meals on Wheels? Pastor Paul or Penny?
Thank you, Pastor Monsami, for that question. Maybe the first thing we need to say is to reiterate the words of Sister Penny, that only churches which have applied to Meals on Wheels and have been approved by the board of Meals on Wheels and are being funded by Meals on Wheels can operate under the banner of Meals on Wheels, because Meals on Wheels is a registered entity, as Sister Penny has stated. All other programs of community services that are done by our churches, for example, a soup kitchen, for a church that is not funded by Meals on Wheels, then that should be done under the umbrella of Adventist Community Services. So only churches that have been approved by the Meals on Wheels board can use the name Meals on Wheels. But all other churches that are doing community services, they must use the name Adventist Community Services. In fact, Chair, we've got a letter that will be going out this week to the churches, where we'll be requesting all church community services that are not funded by Meals on Wheels. We want to create a database for them as ACS at the conference, so that we can know them, we can know where they are located, we can know what they are doing, and we can know how many people they are assisting, so that we can provide guidance, so that we can support them as much as we can. But this will only apply to community projects that are not funded by Meals on Wheels. I'm not sure if Sister Penny has anything to say, maybe?
No, you've explained it properly. Thanks.
Thank you. Press, do you still have a follow-up question on that?
No, I really appreciate the guidance and explanation. I think it's very important for our leaders to understand, while they may not be Meals on Wheels affiliated, something still can happen at the local church. And that's what we want to see. And then it grows from there, and the Lord will continue to provide as He sees fits as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got three. Is Sister MC, and then she'll be followed up by Christian, and then I've also got a hand of Ndumiso. I'm going to ask Sister MC to go first.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Pastor Mpo, for the opportunity. Thank you, Sister Penny, for the vital information and a very well presented presentation. It's much appreciated. I have two questions that I would like to ask with regards to the affiliation of a church with MOKES. Say, for argument's sake, a church there was a kitchen, a MOKES kitchen, and the church was, like, for argument's sake, already received an NPO number and all of those things. But unfortunately, due to circumstances that might have happened, the kitchen has closed down, and now it's only let's say the Bloemfontein office or the Bloemfontein MOKES branch that is delivering food or supplying the food in this big area. What can that church do to be re-affiliated with MOKES again and start a kitchen in that area so that it can be a supporting hand to the bigger office for them not to have such an impact with regards to their deliveries? That's the first one. What can the church do that has already had an NPO, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, closed down? So what is the requirements? That's the first question. The second question with regards to what Pastor Munsemi said is that and I'm so glad that he has asked that question, the difference between the local church, ACS and MOKES. What we are currently doing in Heidedal, we don't have a Dorcas leader, but the Women's Ministries Department and the Welfare Ministries Department, we combine, and then as we have, like, for instance, we do give out food in the community and we collect clothes and all of those things, but it's donations that we receive from friends and family, and then if it's possible, then we will ask money from the church to assist us in supplying the food when we go, maybe on a monthly basis. Sometimes we cannot do it on a monthly basis, then we do it on a 2-monthly basis. So my question is, that soup kitchen, let's call it a soup kitchen or maybe just a community service, is that now going to Pastor Rantwabi? Is that now the database that you will need from us, because we are not in affiliation with the MOKES kitchen? That's the two questions. If it's maybe unclear, I will just clear it if possible. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sister Penny, are you able to answer the first question?
Yes. Thank you, MC, for the question. Unfortunately, because they've left the system, so they'll have to reapply, even if they have their own NPO certificate and all the other required documents, and they have a kitchen that was existing. So they'll have to reapply, just like everybody else, to our board for being recognized again as a kitchen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And yes, Sister MC, where the letter that we will send out will be requesting for the profile of such churches. Churches that are doing community work. It could be feeding, it could be distributing clothes. As long as you are not funded by Meals on Wheels, meaning that you are not a Meals on Wheels affiliate, please, we would like to know who you are, what are you doing, on which days, so that who are the contact people, so that we can have it in our database. We want to create a profile of the work that is being done by ACS in our conference. So please, when we send out that letter, please help us to have that information so that we can profile all the churches that are doing community work besides those which are funded by Meals on Wheels. All right?
Thank you, Pastor Answabi, and thank you, Penny. You have answered my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll now move on. I think it's Brother Christian. Pardon me if it's not a brother, but I want to believe it's Brother Christian.
It's a brother.
Thank you, brother.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sister Penny. Good evening, Pastor. I might not be so fluent in English. I'm a French-speaking person, but I have one question that might lead to another one. Is it proper or is it okay that you or a local church can use the name ACS in order to have an NPO? That is my first question. My second question is, if yes, how do we as a local church run this particular NPO based on our church manual?
Thank you. In yesterday's training, we did explain the different types of centers that operate, or rather the structure of ACS. We spoke about a church that runs some community, that does some community work. Maybe once a month you distribute clothes, or maybe once a month you give out food parcels. This is something that is not happening daily. I have to mute someone. Let me see. All right, let me mute. All right. So yesterday we did speak about churches that do community work not on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis, and we encourage such churches not to register with the NPO Directorate. And then we spoke about a second segment of community services. Churches that are running, I think it's called a center, an Adventist community service, Adventist Community Service Center. They are operating on a frequent basis. It could be daily, it could be weekly, but they are operating on a weekly, on a frequent basis, and they have a schedule. There, we might look into them considering registering, because, for example, if you are serving food on a frequent basis to the public, the laws of the country is that that kitchen must be registered with the health department, and that kitchen must be approved for serving food to the public. So there you might need to register. And then we also spoke of a third category of Adventist community services, which is called an Adventist Community Services what was it? Agency. An agency, it's when two or more churches are sponsoring a center, an ACS center. Here you have professionals who have been employed to run this agency. So there, definitely you need to register as an NPO. There you need to register also with the Department of Health, so that if you are providing food, that facility is approved to provide such a service. So to answer the question, it depends on the type of work you are doing as a local church, one. Two, it also depends on the frequency of the services that you are providing. But under normal circumstances, where we are just distributing food here and there, distributing clothes here and there, we highly discourage you from registering as an NPO or an NGO. We just operate as a church, as an ACS unit or an ACS department that assists the community. But once you start doing this on a frequent basis, daily basis, weekly basis, and especially if you are giving out food, on a cooked food on a daily basis or weekly basis, there you might have to consider registering, because you will soon run into challenges with the laws of the country. I hope I've answered your question, Brother Christian. Let me allow you to have a follow-up if you do.
Yes, Pastor. Thank you so much. That is very, very clear, and I understand that.
Appreciate
I am actually asking the name ACS. Can a local church register an NPO using that name, ACS?
Yes.
And okay. Now, I am in a church whereby, for some reasons, the local church, it's not only doing the food parcels and distributing fairly used clothes to the community, but we are trying to prioritize an objective here that we do have, which is very, very measured to us, in order to open a health shop. When I talk about a health shop, not necessarily getting a building, but then we can always start from somewhere, whereby we are going to be promoting herbal medication. In that particular case, is it okay if a local church registers and do such an activity?
All right. Thank you. My request is that each church that is considering registering, like the Church of Brother Christian, please contact our office so that we can engage you and discuss the matter, and then we'll be able to provide the necessary guidance. We want to avoid a situation where in the database of social development, there are many ACS that are registered, and as a conference, we do not know about it. Let me say that the ACS at the conference is a registered entity with the Social Development Directorate. So we are then requesting that each and every church within the conference, within the KNFC, like the Church of Brother Christian, if you want to, if you are considering registering and you want to find out if it's the right step to take, please contact our office directly at the KNFC, the ACS office, and we will engage you, we will discuss with you, and then after understanding better what you do and what you want to achieve, we can then give the necessary guidance as to whether it's necessary for you to register or not. We will have to have some control over this to avoid having challenges, because the name ACS is a name that is owned by the church at the general conference level. So any use of this name will have to be approved by the regional office. I think Pastor Monsami, maybe if you can also come in there to maybe share some light as well. I know you have written on this. I saw in the book that you have worked on, you have also given some guidance on this matter.
Yes, thank you, Pastor Mpho. Um, we encourage members to work through the conference, especially when it comes to NPO registration. One of the things with NPOs is that on a yearly basis, you will have to submit forms to the DSD. And if you do not have paperwork in order, then you have challenges, and that will have a negative effect on the church because it uses our church's name. Pastor Mpo explained it very clearly. If you are not doing things on a daily basis, weekly basis, run a welfare service through the local church. Once you are looking at daily basis, long term, that you want to explore different avenues like the health shop, which is also commendable. I think it's a good idea, but talk to the area or the conference director, and they will give you guidance on what avenues you have, especially if it's going to be sold and revenues, etc. What can be done. So I think, Pastor, you've covered it well. Christian, I would advise maybe take it outside of this training and set up an appointment with Pastor Mpo and have a chat, and he will give you direction. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Press. Appreciated. I hope we've covered you, Brother Christian.
Yes, thank you very much, Pastor.
Appreciate it. Brother Ndumiso?
Thank you, Chair. I'm not sure if I'm audible now.
Yes, you are now.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you, Chair, and to Sister Penny for the presentation. Maybe firstly, I want to say I'm a proud volunteer of Meals on Wheels. I think my greatest highlights is being involved during the height of COVID-19. Where we crisscrossed the entire province delivering meals and ensuring that people they receive meals, especially the elders and those who are taking medication. I think that's the experience that I will always cherish. I think Meals on Wheels was there for the community during that confusing time in our country, but we sailed through. And till today, I think that experience has helped me as an ACS leader in Durban Central Church to be more involved in the community. At the chair, you might remember that we had a stint communication about the soup kitchen that we're running at Durban Central Church. We've started it post-COVID, pre-COVID and post-COVID, and we are serving every Sunday a minimum of 100, 180, 200. And last Sunday, we had about 250 meals delivered to the homeless. But what we have encountered now is that the city, the council, the Tebeni municipality has issued a bylaw that we can no longer serve meals to homeless people on the streets. We have to identify a center, or they have to give us a center that they work with, where we'll deliver these meals to a center. So we have done that. There's a center that we have identified, and we started working with it. But now here's my question. One of the services that Sister Penny shared is skills development. Now that the ACS has covered the part where we deliver meals, and that is funded by the Durban Central members. I don't want to, involve Meals on Wheels more on that aspect because of the funds that Sister Penny has mentioned. But the skills development part, because that's the part that we also identified that as much as we serve food, but the homeless people, we identified that we need to give them skills so that they can be able to fend themselves. So how then can we work as the ACS department with Meals on Wheels, particularly on skills development? Is there a way that maybe we can maybe join forces there and we render the service to the community? I think I'll end there. Most of the other questions are covered. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if Sis Penny, the Meals on Wheels skills department, which is based at the national office. I'm not sure, maybe if we can engage them one day and see what programs they have and find out maybe if they can possibly partner with ACS programs that we have in the KNFC, like the one in Durban Central, and see what can they assist us with. I'm not sure if Sis Penny, you have anything to say?
Pastor Paul, I think it will be a good idea that we engage them and we engage Durban Central with that project, because different areas got different projects. So let's engage the national office regarding this matter. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We appreciate the work that is being done by Durban Central. I've seen their program. I was there for a funeral, I think, and I saw they were cooking and feeding people. May God bless you as a church as you continue to make a difference. There are many other churches too that we might not know of, but we are hoping that through this exercise of profiling these profiling all our churches which are doing community work, we can then be able to know who's doing what and where. And then we can then seek for partnerships, collaborations with Meals on Wheels, with ADRA South Africa as well. Tomorrow we are going to have a presentation from ADRA South Africa. So these two NGOs are the pride of the church. They are doing a lot. They are recognized in the country and they are respected. They are one of the biggest NGOs that we have in this country, in South Africa. We are proud of the work that they are doing. And we as ACS, we are saying we might not have the reach that they have, we might not have the funds that they have, but with the little that we have, we can be able to partner with them, especially when it comes to disasters. We can be able to partner with them because these are faith-based organizations which are owned by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Thank you, Sister Penny. We appreciate you coming this evening and telling us more about Meals on Wheels. We are proud of the work that you are doing in our conference as Meals on Wheels. We know that you are not running events, you are running programs, feeding programs on a daily basis. Moreover, when we have disasters, we know that Meals on Wheels becomes the face of the church. When there were floods, when there are fires in the informal settlements, we've seen Meals on Wheels on TV. We see you in our communities. You go out there and you make a difference. You represent the church well. We are proud of you. And we hope that as ACS, we can be able to partner with you. Maybe as you serve meals when there are disasters, we can come with clothes or we can donate whatever we can afford to donate so that together we can do more. I don't see any hands. I want to take this time to thank you all for attending this evening's presentation. I also want to acknowledge the Dr. Ngube, who is the country director of ADRA South Africa. Tomorrow he is going to be presenting not tomorrow, I'm sorry, on Wednesday. Tomorrow is elders training. We are not meeting tomorrow. We are going to meet on Wednesday. He is going to tell us about ADRA, about the work that they do in the country, and please also tell us about what you do also globally, because you are a global organization, and also tell us about the work you do in the country and how as ACS and Dockers we can possibly partner with you in the great work that you are doing. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Ngube. At this time, I'm going to ask I'm going to ask Sister Thandi Masugu to close for us with a word of prayer.
Thank you, Pastor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let us pray. Siyabonga baba usezulwini. Sibonga uhlelo oluhle kangaka ukuthi you give us all these opportunities as your children in our churches to work for you. Please bless everyone and bless every church members who is willing to work for you in your vineyard. With your Holy Spirit, lead us in all what you are doing. Thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. See you on Wednesday at
Amen.
6:30. Remember this video, this recording is going to be posted on our conference YouTube page. The link you can get from your church clerk. Thank you and God bless.
Bye.
You.
Bye-bye.